How to install Easy Lock inserts on a neck. The threaded insert model is Easy Lock 400-008-CR stainless steel inserts for hardwoods. They have an 832 internal thread and use a drive tool and a 1764 drill bit for installation. The set comes with a brad point bit, but for enlarging pre-existing holes, which is what I'll be doing in this video, you'll need to buy a 1764 twist bit separately. For my complete tutorial on installing bolt-on necks from scratch, which includes information on both twist and brad point bits, check the link I've provided in the description box. In the meantime, let's continue with the installation of threaded inserts on a guitar neck with pre-existing screw holes. Measure the insert with digital calipers. Add 40 thousandths for clearance, lock the calipers, and put them against the drill bit. Mark with a Sharpie, and tape around the Sharpie line to make a depth stop. Cut a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 inch piece of leather or other padding material, load it into a 4-inch drill press vise, then place the heel of the neck into the vise face down. Tighten it until it's snug. Make sure your drill press table is level, then load the twist bit into the chuck and tighten it. Place the drill press vise onto the drill press table. Check the neck for square with a bubble level. If necessary, shim the underside of the drill press vise to bring the neck to level. Another option for clamping the neck is to use a neck rest caul with clamp holes, a C-clamp, and a clamping caul for the back of the neck. Use a bubble level to verify that the heel of the neck is flat after clamping, and, if necessary, just like with the drill press vise, use shims under the bottom of the neck rest caul to correct it. Whatever method you choose, be sure to check both sides of the neck before drilling. You might have the first 2 holes level, but the other 2 might be out. Shim as necessary for either side individually. Once the neck is secure and level, we can move on to drilling the holes. Line up the neck heel under the bit and turn it on. Lower it slowly, holding the vise very lightly. When you're using a twist bit and pilot holes, like I'm using here, drilling down only a very small amount initially, while holding the workpiece lightly, will pull the workpiece to center. I start all of the holes this way. Once the initial shallow drilling pulls the workpiece to center, I'll then hold it firmly in place and drill to depth. Check the neck for level again to make sure nothing is shifted, and repeat on the other holes. Add a slight countersink to the holes to keep things clean. Countersinking the holes helps to prevent flaring around the top of the hole when driving in threaded inserts or screws. Then load the Easy Lock driver tool into the drill press chuck and tighten it. Place the insert on top of one of the holes and line up the driver tool with the insert. Turn the chuck clockwise with one hand while holding the drill press lever steady with the other. Do not apply any more than the bare minimum of downward force required. This is very important. Turning the drill press lever too hard can shift the neck in the vise, and it also makes this a lot harder and riskier than it has to be. The inserts are razor sharp and will easily thread in on their own. Just hold the lever steady to make sure the insert is staying straight as it goes in. I wanted to show an unobstructed view of the insert threading into the neck, so that demonstration was without glue. But in practice, it's a good idea to use some wood glue around the insert before installing. This helps to make sure everything is locked in place as solidly as possible. Once an insert is installed, test it with a straight edge. The straight edge should not be touching the insert at all. It should be recessed slightly below the surface of the wood. If the insert is sticking up above the heel of the neck, even a tiny bit, thread the insert in a little more until it's just below the surface of the wood and is no longer contacting the straight edge. After all the inserts are in, all that's left is to attach the neck to the body. Stainless steel machine screws of the same length as the original neck screws should work fine, and you can take your pick between panhead, oval head, slotted, Phillips, combination, Allen, or anything else. Go crazy with it, because if you're anything like me, this is probably the most fun you've had in a long time. So don't be afraid to live it up at your local hardware store, or at one of my personal all-time favorite online stores, boltdepot.com. I'm getting shivers down my spine just thinking about the variety of 3/16 stainless steel cup point set screws they might have, but that's for another video. I'm actually serious. Check the description box for a link, assuming your hands aren't so shaky from excitement that they're unable to do that. Anyway, I got so worked up that I forgot the job is done. But one more note. be careful when you tighten those machine screws. Threaded inserts and machine screws have way more torque than standard neck screws, and if you're ham-handed with tightening the screws, you can crack the finish around the neck pocket. On my personal guitars, I just consider this relicking, but your friend that asked you to do this job probably won't appreciate it the same way I do. Now, before I end this video, I'll ask what we're all probably wondering. Do stainless steel inserts and stainless steel screws improve the tone or sustain? My opinion is that it probably does have some favorable impact on sustain via maximizing the wood-to-wood contact between the neck heel and the neck pocket. It's pulling the neck as tightly as possible into the pocket, which has to make a difference. But even if it doesn't, the major reason to do this modification is to completely future-proof the instrument. With inserts, you can take the neck on and off 1,000,000 times and the threads will never wear out. Additionally, the neck pocket will split in half before the screws will strip, and breaking the head off of one of these screws is pretty much impossible unless you're a silverback gorilla with a breaker bar. If I were to build a line of custom guitars, I would absolutely use threaded inserts and machine screws. Are they necessary? No. Are they a premium option? Absolutely. They're also a much faster and much more effective alternative to plugging and re-drilling stripped neck heel holes, so even if you're just using them for repairs, they're extremely valuable to have and to know how to use. You can slap on a lifetime guarantee to the repair as well. Once those are installed, they will not be going anywhere in this lifetime or the next. And that's how I install threaded inserts on bolt-on necks. Keep tinkering, and if you know anyone else passionate about all things guitar, send them over here to Guitar MD.